was like, why is it making noise? All right, guys. So, I also have some accountable talk sentence starters for each of you to look at if you like don't know what you want to say to each other. So I want you to look at those.
What do I need to do? Can I add those two where they are now?
And these are I agree with, because, or I sort of agree, but, or I disagree because, or if you want to ask your friend, like, why do you think that? Or if you want to say, could it also be, or can you explain what you mean, or can you tell me more? So these are just different ways to talk to each other, okay? So, and we're going to talk today about Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X. We've watched 2 of their speeches. We watched the I Have a Dream speech, and then we watched the Malcolm X speech in Wake Gospel. Yes?
The Malcolm X speech actually had like a name, like the Martin Luther King speech was called I Have a Dream speech.
Malcolm X really doesn't have a speech that's quite as famous. So, his speech is actually deemed the by any means necessary. And you remember how we talked about that? It was, he wanted equal rights by any means necessary, including violence, okay? So we're going to start today with, who can tell me what they thought the central message was of either speeches? Yes. People should fight for their rights. Now, does anybody have anything they would like to say about that? Do we think that they both had the same central message? Do you think only one person had that central message? Yes.
They're similar, they're also different because Martin Luther King Jr., he wanted equal rights, but he also wanted to be together in unity, and Malcolm X wanted to be separate.
Excellent. So they both wanted equal rights. One of them wanted it in a different way than the other. One of them wanted everybody to be together. One of them wanted to be separate. So who do you think Malcolm X is talking to? Who is his audience? What race would his audience be? Umberto, what do you think? Can you tell me why you would say that? Excellent. So he's fighting more for the African Americans. So what do you think, Medina?
I sort of agree with Humberto, but I also disagree a little bit because I felt that he was talking to everyone.
You think he's talking to everybody? So do you think he has different messages for the African American people compared to the Caucasian people? What do you think his different messages are?
His message for African Americans are to fight for race, but for Caucasians, I think that his central message is probably help us fight for our rights.
Excellent. Okay. Yes.
I sort of agree with you there, but I think that, like with the African American, I do think that it's to fight for your rights, but with the Caucasian, I think it's to let us have our rights.
Right. So maybe he was telling them, we're going to have our rights, and that's how it's going to be. Interesting. So maybe he had 2 different messages for 2 different people. Noel, what do you think about that? Do you think he had 2 different messages for the 2 different races?
4 times what is going to give me that 12?
Okay. So you agree?
Do the same to the top.
You do agree. Okay. So who do you think Martin Luther King Jr.'s audience was?
4 times 3 is 12.
Who was his audience?
And
Martin
James,
Luther
what
King.
is 1
Who's he
times 3?
talking to?
3. It is 3.
You think he's talking to
So my
everyone?
new
So what's
number,
he telling everyone?
my new number is what? 312. Thank you.
Everyone should be
Now,
learning.
what do I need
Who
to
agrees?
add to multiply this 3 by?
Everybody agree with that? What Martin Luther King said? Umberto, why do you think the speaker feels that way? Let's all think about that. Thinking about his
9,
past.
11, 12. What's 2 times 4?
Like 8 and
I'm talking about the answer. Well, I think that's for me. And that's several times you've done that.
he wanted like people to be together because of these
It is very distracting.
Excellent. Excellent. You have something to say?
I agree with Humberto, but I also think as a kid he did have white friends, Caucasian friends, and then they had said that they couldn't play with them. So I think it made him more sad than mad.
Excellent. So you think he's a little more sad that he couldn't play with his Caucasian friends compared to who? Noel?
Now that I have this,
And he's more what? What do you think? He's not quite sad. He's what? He's angry. Why do you think he's angry?
now, what do I do now?
Medina, would you like to say something to that? Would you like to help him?
You're not sure
Caucasian
what I've
people
done
were
so far?
hurt his family.
Caucasian people were hurting his family.
Well, let's finish
Interesting.
and see.
Did we learn, so their experiences when they were young sort of helped develop who they were as adults. So Martin Luther King Jr.'s experience with Caucasian children who were friends. Malcolm X's experience was that they were mean to him and they hurt his family. So when they grew up, Malcolm X didn't want to be with the white people, did he? But Martin Luther King did. He thought we should all be together. So if you had to pick somebody who you agreed with more, Medina, who would you agree with?
I think that I would agree with Martin Luther King Jr. because I would want everyone to be together. I don't like violence.
Excellent. Anybody have something they would want to say?
Well, I would agree with Medina too because people, like when Malcolm X went, they wanted to be violent, it could have caused even more trouble.
That's why I'm showing you this stuff.
If you just automatically used violence instead of trying something else
Came
first?
up here, I
Excellent.
added my whole numbers.
Well, I think
I came
I
here
partly
and
agree
I
with
converted these so
Malcolm
that I
X
can add them.
because he was also wanting, he was okay with being separate. He wanted to be treated equally, just wanted to be separate.
Okay, excellent. Aaron, who do you agree with?
You told me a minute ago. 11 what?
Okay, can you tell me why?
So now I have 11 12s. Now, what's my next thing I have to do to answer my question, Imani?
Okay, so
Excellent. Noel, who do you agree with?
I need to ask for another way. I said, I'm asking you, what is my next step to solving this problem?
you have to do 6 letters and the one in there. You have
Wait a minute, slow down. You're going so fast, I don't even know what you're saying.
Do you need to think about it for a second?
You have
Do you need to take a minute?
6,
Okay.
11,
So I can see, can we all like see both points?
I'm not gonna multiply it.
So like, even though you may agree with Martin Luther King Jr., do you kind of see where Malcolm X is coming from?
you have to decide
All right.
both classes.
So who do you think had more of an important message?
All right, hold on, listen.
Well, I really don't know. They both seem really important. I think they both had equally important messages.
Excellent, they're both equally important. Does anybody agree or disagree with that?
Has to be. We found what adding these
Do you know what I thought was
Things
interesting?
were for the
What we
rest
read from the book
I've added
is
all
that
my flour
even
in.
though
My
it
next
said
thing
he was
is
the
that
angriest
is
black
it
man in America, I never really
less
read
than
about
7 cups.
him being violent
She said it's gonna be less than 7 cups.
or
So
doing
I gotta
anything
see, is
horribly
it less
bad.
than 7
He
cups?
only really
I
talked
need to
about
know.
it.
He only talked about
I
it.
don't need to.
So do you think that was like
I have what I
instead
need.
of being something he did, do you think it was just maybe a way to get people
That's my next
excited
step. I
and to want to fight for their rights?
Now I
It
need
was
to
a way
know
just to get
is
people to really make a change. Just like he said, I think he was giving an example of
more than
how much he really thinks that we should all have equal rights, because he said by any means necessary,
Okay.
and we could have violence, but that just basically just is making everyone really be like, man, he's really serious about this.
Excellent. Okay, Medina.
I thought that maybe he said that so that maybe Caucasians, they might get scared because they think, oh, he's going to start fighting people and using their arms.
Excellent. So you think it's because he wanted to get people excited and he wanted people to know that he was serious. And you're saying he also wanted, so this is interesting because he had a message for the white people that was like, I wanted you to get excited, I want you to really fight for your rights, and you think the message to the white people was like, you better watch out and you better start letting us have our rights. interesting. So they both fall in very different ways because he sort of preached, which is interesting because they were both like preachers or priests. He preached that we're gonna go after our rights and we're gonna get it. Martin Luther King Jr. preached what? What did he preach, Noah?
Look up here.
What I got was I had 79.
That we should be united, peace and love.
That's because you did
Very
this.
interesting
No, I
because some people respond better to we're gonna go after it, we're gonna do it, and some people respond better to the peace and the love and the harmony.
No.
So really, do you think we needed one of each, or do you think we really needed both of them? Why do you think we needed both?
And trying to say,
Virgil, why do you think we needed both to really do civil rights?
not the best way, not the best way. So why?
Well, for Martin Luther King, I wanted people to see him like united and, Malcolm X was like, on
You
my
do this,
separate, but
and you have too big a chance of making a mistake.
Wanted rights. So they both would